Today we're going to talk about ball flight, how to create ball flight. Why does the ball go left to right or right to left? This is the most important part about golf. If you understand this lesson, you can go and practice and you can actually get better on your own. Because honestly, the swing, the way it looks, that's style and preference, okay? What's happening during impact between the club face and the ball is the only thing that matters. I'm telling you, it is the only thing that matters. So I'm going to explain it right now. You need to set up this station. So see these two lines? You can do this with alignment sticks, infinity rope, or golf clubs. These two lines represent the target line. It's an imaginary line from your golf ball straight to the target. I have the Infinity Rope Mini here on an arc because the golf swing is on an arc around your body. You cannot swing the club straight back on this line and then straight through. That's just not how the golf swing works, all right? It's more around yourself. So Infinity Rope Mini is going to help remind me of that. Very simple. What the ball does in the air is all based on two things happening at the same time and their relationship to each other. So it's club path plus club face angle at impact. Club path simply means how is the club head entering the golf ball, okay? It's either out to in or in to out. I'm going to show you what out to in means right now. The head of the golf club coming down into the swing. If it moves from outside, this is outside of the target line, across the ball exiting here, left, that is an out to in club path. And in to out club path is when the head of the club travels from the inside of this line into the golf ball and exits on the outside of that line, okay? Now, what your club face is doing at impact, that plus what path the club is moving on, so in to out or out to in, that's what creates ball flight, okay? You want to know why you slice the ball? Slicing happens when the club face is moving from far outside the target line to far inside the target line. And the club face is going to be wide open when that happens, okay? A hook happens when the club face is moving from too far inside the target line. That would be like right here. To too far outside the target line, other side. And the club face is going to be dead shut. So I'm going to do both of those swings right now so that you can see what they look like and then you can see what the ball flight looks like. I'm going to slice this one. So I'm going to feel like I swing the club from right here, almost outside of the driving range mat, and I'm going to drag it all the way inside. And I'm going to leave the face wide open. Let's see how this goes. Yep, that is a slice-a-rooney. Kind of started straight, but it just goes right, okay? The reason for that is the club face was moving to outside of the target line to inside coming through. So now I'm going to do the opposite of that, right? Which is a hook. So I am going to, so this is a slice at impact with an out to in path. This is a hook with an in to out path. So check this out. I am going to swing the club like almost from this point of the driving range mat to that point. And I'm going to shut the club face. Okay, ball started kind of on target line, but again, it's just moving so far left. It's hooking. So you gotta be like, what's her name? Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? Too much of something is bad. Too little of something, also bad. You have to find the happy medium. But as long as you understand club path to club face, you can literally hit any shot you want. So now I'm going to show you more of a neutral out to in, right? Out to in doesn't mean bad. Get that out of your brain. You cannot hit a fade unless the head of the club is moving slightly outside of the target line and then slightly inside of the target line. And the face should be square. That's in a perfect fucking world, right? Nobody's perfect. If you actually want the ball to start on the left side of the target line and move to the right, your club face has to be like 0.5 degree to 1 degree closed. I know you're probably not that good, but that's why you have to experiment, right? So I'm going to do what I think is a very good fade, which is the club moves around me, but then the club head's going to try to feel like it comes from here to right there. Slightly closed face. There you go. Ball starts on the left, comes back towards the right. That's about 3 or 4 steps off the middle. I'll take that. That's a good shot, especially because it faded, but not faded off the target line and going right. That's because the face was slightly closed. Now I want to show you what happens if you swing out to in, but the club face is too closed. This is not like advanced only for pro stuff. This should be something every beginner golfer, every golfer knows and practices. So practice this more than you're practicing your swing, because this is what creates ball flight. Okay? Just very fucking simple. Okay? Club path plus the angle of your face at impact. So now I'm going to swing out to in, but I'm going to have the club face just closed. Okay, see how it's just left? Staying left. That's because I was swinging left, but the face was too closed. Okay? So now I'm going to show you a draw. It's the opposite of what goes for a fade, right? So the club head needs to travel slightly from the inside of the target line and then exit slightly outside of the target line. If you overdo this, too much in to too much out, the ball is going to have a lot of turn, right? Now I'm going to do an in to out swing with a closed face. This is what everybody thinks creates a draw. I'll show you what happens. The ball sort of starts on line, and then it just goes left. So yeah, it has draw curve, but it starts at the target and it goes left. That's because the face is too closed. If you want to hit a real draw, okay, where the ball actually starts to the right of your target and moves back to the left onto the target, yes, you have to swing slightly in to out, but the club face needs to be 0.5 degree open or square. Okay? So now I'm going to do that. I'm going to try my best to keep the face just square or slightly open, slightly into out. Look at that. Just a straight draw, dead onto the center. So that's the secret. There is no secret. It's all about you finding a way to match up the path of the club. So outside to in or in to out with how open or closed the face is. I need you to experiment on your own, right? This is information. Without this information, you would never be able to control the flight of the golf ball. Just like me when I started, I had no idea how, because I just didn't have this very simple information. Now that you have it, go to the range and don't just try to hit the ball straight. That's ridiculous. What if you're behind a tree and it needs to go like this and stay low? Okay, well, if I know it really needs to go that way, I'm going to swing more that way, and I'm really going to shut the face. Now watch this ball. Look at it. Low, skirting, boom, that way. That's just because I matched up the path of the club head with how open or closed the face is, right? So now I'm going to show you a draw that doesn't draw. It's just like a push. You know why that happens? You're swinging the club head from inside the target line to outside, but the club face is just open. It's not a slice, right? It starts right and it goes a little right. That's not a slice. That is a push. That means your club path, it's in and out. Good job, you did it. But the club face is wide open, right? And now the opposite of that is somebody who's used to slicing the ball, just closes the face, and then they still swing left. And now it's just starting left, going left, and they're like, I can't play that, right? So I got to open the face again. No. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go and change your swing. You need to match up the path of the club head, okay, with how open or closed the club face is. It's not an exact science. It's just physics. It's literally, this is what happens when this happens. And you're just going to take this information and you're just going to practice. So let's try to hit one with a nice fade, right? And then we're going to see what happens with the ball flight. And then I'm going to adjust the path and the face angle just based on the flight of the ball, not on the mechanics of what my swing looked like. So let's see what happens, right? If I'm trying to hit an actual fade, I'm just going to come slightly outside of this target line to slightly inside, right? Because that's how much curve I want. Basically, this much, okay? If you have a lot of curve, your shit is like that, okay? Club head doesn't go straight back and straight through. It either comes slightly outside to inside or slightly in out, okay? So we're gonna try and hit a fade, slightly closed club face or square, swung left. Honestly, I did it perfect. Okay, so it didn't land on the target line, right? It landed just right of the target line. That means my club face was a little too open because the ball started left of target line. Good. That means club path was perfect because it started right here. The reason why it moved too much is the face was too open. But the other thing is, if I wanted to hit a fade, it did that! And it's there! It's 2 steps off of where I'm trying to hit the ball. So, cool. I did it, right? I'm actually not going to be overly critical about that. So now let's try to hit a draw, and then let's adjust based on what happens. Okay. See how it's like 10 to 15 steps right, and it just stayed there? That means that the club face was square, and the path of the club head was too far outside of this target line, right? So it went there, and it did nothing because the face was square. So good face, bad path. So let's try that one more time. Look at this. Face was, I don't even think that was really into out, but closer to my target line and on the right side, right? If you're hitting a draw, what you don't want to do is have the ball miss to the left of the target line. Same thing with a fade. If you're hitting a fade, you don't want the ball to land or miss on that side of the target line. Now I'm going to show you with setup how that influences each one of these shots, okay? If you want to swing more across the ball, we're going to set our feet up on an out to in angle. See this club? That's what you're going to do. Your back foot is going to actually get in front of your front foot, and then that is going to help you to swing out to in. So your stance line and what your chest is doing is going to influence the path of the club. So much easier to swing out to in when your feet are this angle and your chest is a little bit more open. Yep, out to in all day. Without even thinking about it, because the setup influenced the path of the club. Now, for a draw, very simple. Chest needs to get a little bit more in at address, and your back foot is going to get behind your front foot. Now it just feels easy to have the path shifted more from the inside to the outside. In to out, all day long. All day long. Didn't read that, but you get the picture. This has been long enough. Let me know if you have any questions about this, but seriously, go practice. This is the fun part of golf. You actually get to understand, like, holy shit, how did I make the ball go that way? How did it go that way? And you can actually start controlling the ball, hunting the flag, playing the game. The game is get the ball closer to the hole. The game is not have a perfect golf swing, because how good your golf swing looks doesn't fucking matter if your club path and the angle of your face at impact don't match up. Love you guys. Seriously, now that you know this info, you can go pro. I mean, how much money and how much time do you have? We're about to find out. Love you. Seriously. Bye.